I've got something a little bit different today. This is a Singer 29K 171 boot patching machine. Now these machines are designed for patching boots obviously, and shoes, and difficult to get to places where you may need to do some repairs, and it's ideal for sewing leather obviously, being what most boots and shoes are made of. Well, especially back in the day, a lot of boots and shoes be made of leather. So today I thought I would just run through the basics of this machine really, from winding the bobbin to installing the bobbin in the bobbin case, installing the bobbin case, replacing or installing a new needle, and threading, and just general use of the machine. So let's start by bobbin winding here. If we have a look at the bobbin here, it's a relatively small bobbin, and that's because it needs to fit into this very small area here. And here's the shuttle, so the bobbin will sit into there just like so. What we'll do first of all is we'll wind a bobbin. We'll start by putting some thread on the spool holder there. So at the moment the bobbin winder is disengaged. To engage the bobbin winder, we just bring this little lever here, this little knob, down as far as it'll go, and that brings the bobbin winder up into contact with the flywheel here. And then we'll place the bobbin over the bobbin winder spindle there, and we give that a few wraps around there, pull that thread through the slot there to start with, trim that reasonably close there, and then I'm just going to manually guide the thread onto the bobbin there. Oops, unraveling there. So now we're ready to thread the bobbin into the shuttle here. So we want the thread to be pulling off in this direction here, like so. And then you take the thread down through the bobbin case here, drop the bobbin into the case. You'll see that we've got a slot here and a hole to put the thread through. So when we put the thread through that hole there, and just pull that through the slot, I'm holding tension on the bobbin itself to stop it from turning, and that thread should pop under the spring there. And we've got the thread coming in under the spring out through the hole. I'll give that a test there. That's pulling off nicely there. So that's ready to install into the machine. So you'll notice that the plate can go two ways here. We've got this location here, or we can swing it 180 degrees. And you may notice also that there is numbers stamped on here. So we've got 18-21. So that's size 18 to size 21 needle is appropriate to use with the plate in this orientation, and that's because this hole here, the throat plate hole, is smaller than on this end here where we've got 22 to 23, so size 22 to 23 needle, and so you'll notice that the throat plate hole there is wider to accommodate the thicker needle there. They're imperial sizes, by the way. So we've got a size, I'll be using a size 19 needle here. See that, plenty of clearance there. So So as far as the needle itself, we've got a needle set screw here on the front of the needle bar. Just loosen that, and our needle comes out like so. Now you might be able to see there are slight differences in the front and back of the needle here. Now the front of the needle, the blade here, has this channel right down the front of it here, and then if we flip it 180, we've got a very small channel here. This little channel here is where the hook comes through, the shuttle comes through and picks the thread up off the needle. So we want this here to be the face that faces the shuttle. If we install the shuttle, just like so, there's a driver here with a little spring-loaded ball just here. So this little crescent piece here fits into this area on the shuttle. So we basically just drop that in there, just like that there. So the needle will come down this hole here, and you'll see that the hook, the hook of the shuttle here is on this side. It's on the inside of the machine, if you like, just here. So we want the little short groove here to go towards the inside, the hook point side. So bring the needle bar back up. This is a leather point needle too, by the way. It's got an angled cutting blade right at the tip there. So it's a bit different to a standard sewing machine needle, where the standard needle is a round point. This is actually almost like a chisel point, if you like. Let's go ahead and install the needle there. The needle set screw and tighten up there. Set screw's quite worn actually, that really needs replacing. So now, just give you a quick look at the motion of this here. So the needle comes down into the work, and then you'll see the shuttle's actually stalled there. That's how it's supposed to work. And keep turning, and the needle bar rises, forming a loop in the thread, and then the shuttle comes through. The point picks up the thread and carries on like that. Okay, and before I bring the plate around, I'll just bring the bobbin thread up through the throat plate hole from the bottom there, so that when I swing it into position, the bobbin thread is in place there. Okay, we're ready for top threading here. So to thread the top thread, we just bring the thread along here, come in under this little lever here, and we come along to this little post here, around the back of the post, and then through the front of the tension discs here, straight through this little guide loop here, like that, and then up to the take up lever there, through that one, front to back. The real fancy trick with these machines is the thread actually goes down the center of the needle bar, and that's how you get the ability to turn the presser foot in any direction, because the thread's heading straight down the center of the needle bar, and if you're lucky you can thread the thread straight down here without it snagging, and it should just pop out the bottom of the needle bar there. It seems to have got as far as it'll go there. Okay, and it's not coming out the bottom of the needle bar, so we should be seeing thread come out here. So there's a handy tool where you've got this long wire here with a loop in the top. We can feed that, or pull that thread back out of the needle bar there, We can thread this up through the center of the needle bar, and we'll see it pop out the top of the needle bar there, and then we can just hook the thread over it, like that, and just pull that back down like that. See that come out, there we go, and there we have the thread coming down the center of the needle bar there. And that's what allows this machine this ability here to steer the machine effectively in any direction, is the fact that the thread is coming down the center of the needle bar like that. And then we just thread the needle from left to right there. I can see I don't quite have that needle in square. And then thread from left to right there. And we should be all ready to sew there. Now, yeah, I'm not convinced the tension is correct here. We're on quite a short stitch there. The stitch length can be adjusted by undoing the little knob here, this little screw. Okay, so if we have a look on the side of the foot bar here, we've got this little thumb screw, and this is the stitches per inch. So we've got 0 up here, 8 stitches, 6 stitches, 5 stitches per inch. So let's go for around 6 stitches per inch, and let's have a wee look at what's happening here. Yeah, so I think there's a problem with the tension here as well. Yeah, it's probably not sewing as well as it should. I'll work on that. It's probably just a tension issue there, but you can see, you know, what it's doing there. You can get a lot of control and do tight corners and get into, you know, tight areas there. Okay, this leather here is about 1/4 inch thick. Sorry about the flashing, the batteries are flat on this one. Yeah, 6mm, this leather belt here. So that's about it for this one. I hope you found that interesting. That's the Singer 29K171 boot patching machine. And I'd like to thank my patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, and for all of you out there watching on YouTube, thank you very much for watching.